What's up, everybody? Emceemur here, and welcome back to another fantabulous review video. And once again, we're looking at a new release courtesy of our friends at NIS America, and I want to thank NIS America for the opportunity to take a look at this exciting new release. We're talking about none other than Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero, a PSP entry in the Trails series that didn't make it to the West. There was mention of a fan translation that circulated at some point, but it's always a stretch to me. We want to see actual releases, and that's what we're finally getting here. And as is the norm from this great publisher, we're getting some quality of life enhancements on this release, making for a definitive way to play this game. Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero. Let's get into it right now. Man, I am never not in the mood for a game like this. I do not subscribe to the idea that turn-based RPGs are a dying breed, and this game pushes back hard against that idea, in that it's the somewhat dated build of the old-school turn-based RPG set to the combat and complexities of the Trails combat system and character build formulas. And when it comes to characters, of course, we're talking favorites from the series, which makes this easy to dig for veterans of the franchise. Now, I'll admit, I'm still new to the Trails games. We've looked at Cold Steel 3, we've looked at Cold Steel 4 on the show, but I've got a lot of backtracking to do, and I'm looking forward to every last bit of it. And Trails from Zero is part of that, right? I'm already familiar with the combat system here, but the art style of this iteration honestly takes me back to the 16-bit RPG era. Obviously, I know this was beyond that, but for me personally, Trails games in general have always given me that faint Phantasy Star vibe and feel, and that makes this playthrough so far extra cozy for me. Speaking of the look of the game, that brings us to one of your big quality of life enhancements with this release that you're getting. Enhanced visuals from the original and HD textures. The game is bright, brilliant, and pleasing to the eye. You'll see that right away as you tour the city of Crossbell, a world within the world. Stunning environments with equally impressive backgrounds and different vibes in every area. Crossbell has its own map, and you're going to need it. A city large enough to make you very grateful for fast travel once it's available. I love the detail of the NPCs of this city, in that you can talk to them more than once and receive various responses. Exploration ends up being a big part of this game, despite it being linear by design in places. As with any of these games, you're going to experience a robust story, and that means dialogue. Lots of dialogue, branching dialogue, dialogue seemingly in excess in places for atmosphere. You better be ready to read, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing at all, but I've known folks that just didn't like games that required you to read a lot, and the dialogue in these games is obviously what drives the story and fleshes out the characters, so you gotta be ready. You have the staple side activities we're used to in Trails games, like obtaining recipes and ingredients and then cooking, as well as fishing, which ends up being kind of a game within the game, as is the style. And with a casino in town, I'm liable to end up with a gambling problem before it's all over. This is going to be Space Quest 1 all over again. You've got side missions, some of which have to be done in a timely fashion. It's possible to advance the story too far and then close the window on certain missions. And I'm really feeling incentive to get all of these done, as you need the income for gear upgrades and for supplies. This kind of segues into the shopping available to you in this game, even just in the main city. Back to those classic RPG feels, the department store features multiple shops with items to outfit your troops. There's a weapon shop in town, you gotta have that, a bakery, hotels, lots of places to spend your hard-earned funds. So besides just for character growth, the need for funds makes grinding a must, which leads us to our next quality of life enhancement. High speed mode, that's right, which increases your walking speed for traversing areas you're already familiar with, and to speed up battles, which is desirable during easy button mash grinding, fights you're gonna win that require no real strategy and that you just want to breeze through, right? Get your XP, get your money, and roll on. Play your way, your speed, Perfect for an enthusiast like me who sometimes has limited time to play. Shine on, getting my grind on, you hear me? As in other Trails games, the character customization is really centered around the orbital upgrades, which quartz goes in which unlocked slots, and so on and so forth. I always prefer a setup that's heavy on offense, that's just my style, but there are plenty of ways to change things up. Did I mention the treasure chests offer up snarky comments and shtick after being emptied? Because they do. So if you're into smart-ass talking chests, jackpot. I don't know, man. There's a lot to love about this game. I love that the Japanese voice acting is present, which makes for a great backdrop to all that dialogue. And it's all the dialogue. It's not just a word or two. It's easy to underestimate your enemies as the difficulty scales too. You really do need to strategize and time your special attacks right, taking into account weaknesses, elemental effects, and what have you. You'll really need to lean on your support characters and keep things in low gear from time to time. You won't always be able to run in high speed mode. The main map has a decent handful of locations, and no further than I am into this, there's no telling how much more things are going to expand. I'm most excited to play out the entirety of the dungeon delving in this game. Again, the environments are detailed and really lend themselves well to a great exploration experience. Trails from Zero retails for $49.99, and it's available right now for PlayStation 4 and your Nintendo Switch. So if you like what you see here, and you know I do, secure your copy today and get in on this action. Once again, I want to thank NIS America for giving us an opportunity to take a look at this new release. I never met a Trails game I didn't like, and I'm sure you haven't either. And there's a lot of great things going on in this new release, perfect for veterans of the franchise and newcomers alike. I hope that you enjoyed this review. I hope that you liked this video and that you're going to drop a like on this video. And most importantly, if you have not already done so, that you're going to subscribe to the Emceemur Show and be a part of our nation, because we're rising up. All the fantastic things we do right here on the show, you need to be a part of. And make sure that you smack that notification bell so you're always the first to know when new content goes live. Content just like this fantabulous game review. Emceemur signing off for this fantabulous review, and I will see each and every one of you again on the next one.